When everything feels like it's breaking down around you, that's when your strength begins. In the roar of chaos, calm becomes your secret weapon. You may have lost focus. You may have felt pressure squeeze your mind. But inside every storm lies a path back to yourself. Stronger, clearer, unshakable. In this video, you will learn how to stay calm in chaos. Not by avoiding pressure, but by mastering it. You'll discover the mental shifts that turn confusion into clarity, distractions into discipline, fear into control. So breathe. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn could change how you face every storm in your life. There's a kind of chaos that doesn't come from the outside world. It starts inside you, in your mind, in the thoughts that refuse to slow down. You wake up and the noise is already waiting. Notifications, opinions, plans, problems. Everyone wants something. The world screams louder every day. And in that storm, one truth hides quietly. The calmest person always wins. When everything burns, people run. But the one who stands still sees everything. The moves, the mistakes, the openings. Because calm is not the absence of chaos. It's the ability to move through it untouched. Pause. Take a breath. Right now, in this very second, you are in control. Not of the world, not of other people, but of your response to them. That's where power begins. Not in control of outcomes, but in control of yourself. Most people don't lose because life is hard. They lose because they panic. They lose because they let noise decide their next step. They react before they think. And every reaction costs them peace, energy, and clarity. But not you. Not anymore. You're here because you've felt the pull of chaos. You've seen how easy it is to get swept away. Anger, frustration, overthinking. And yet, somewhere inside you, there's a voice whispering. Stay calm. Watch. Wait. Win. That voice is your strength. That's the real you. The mind that stays calm in the storm doesn't avoid chaos. It commands it. Because chaos has one weakness. It feeds on reaction. And when you stop reacting, you take away its power. The calm mind doesn't chase. It doesn't fight for attention. It watches. It learns. It acts only when necessary. And when it does, the world feels that move. That's why the calm ones look unbothered. Because they see more than others do. They understand that storms come and go. But the one who knows how to stand still through the wind can walk out of it stronger than before. Right now, life may not make sense. You may be fighting battles no one sees. People testing your patience. Situations pushing your limits. But that's exactly where your transformation begins. You're not here to escape the storm. You're here to become the person who can't be shaken by it. Every challenge you face now is training your emotional muscle. Every delay, every argument, every setback. It's not punishment. It's practice. Training you to master yourself. Because the truth is simple. If you can stay calm when everything falls apart, you've already won. You don't need to shout to prove your strength. You don't need to rush to prove your worth. Power is quiet. Focus is silent. Winners move slowly, while the world screams in panic. Pause again. Take a deep breath. Feel the space between your thoughts. That's silence. That's peace. That's focus. That's where your strength hides. From now on, every time chaos shows up, every time someone tries to pull you into drama, every time life tests you, smile, because now you know something they don't. You know that control doesn't come from force. It comes from stillness. You know that while others are wasting energy, reacting, you're saving energy for strategy. You know that calmness is a weapon, and the more you use it, the sharper it gets. In this series, you're going to learn how to master that weapon. How to slow your racing mind. How to think clearly under fire. How to win, not by fighting harder, but by staying calm longer. Because calmness doesn't make you weak. It makes you dangerous. This is your training ground. 8 chapters of mental clarity, emotional control, and unshakable focus. Each part will take you deeper, from understanding chaos, to mastering it, to finally thriving inside it. By the end, you won't just know how to stay calm in chaos. You'll know how to turn chaos into your greatest advantage. You'll see what others miss. You'll move when others freeze. You'll think clearly while they react blindly. You'll win, quietly, calmly, completely, because the world doesn't belong to those who shout the loudest. It belongs to those who stay calm and move with purpose when the noise fades. This is part one, the calm within the storm, and your journey has just begun. The world is addicted to panic. Look around. Every headline screams. Every scroll on your phone bleeds urgency. Everyone wants you to react, to fear, to rush, to compete, to prove something to someone who's not even watching. But here's the truth no one will tell you. When the world panics, calm people rise. Because panic is the noise that hides opportunity. And calm is the silence that reveals it. When people panic, they stop thinking. They follow. They repeat what others say. They move fast, but without direction. They let fear decide. That's when the calm ones win. Because while everyone is busy reacting, you're busy observing. You're watching what no one else can see. Patterns, possibilities, the small openings between chaos. The calm person is not the one who does nothing. The calm person is the one who waits for the right move, the right word, the right strike. They don't rush because they understand that timing is everything. Panic moves first. Wisdom moves last. And in between those two, victory is decided. When the world panics, markets crash, people quit, emotions explode. That's when clarity becomes rare and valuable. That's when people look for someone to trust, someone who doesn't break under pressure. Be that person, because calmness creates leadership. When others lose control, they will follow the one who still has it. Every empire, every movement, every breakthrough was built by someone who stayed calm while the world burned around them. Think about it. The warrior who keeps breathing under fire wins more battles than the one who swings wildly. The investor who stays patient during fear buys the world at a discount. The leader who speaks softly when others shout becomes the voice people trust. You don't need to be louder. You need to be clearer. You don't need to move faster. You need to move smarter. And that begins the moment you stop letting the world's panic control your inner state. Pause for a second. Imagine you're in the middle of a storm, rain, thunder, wind. Everything is moving. Everything is noise. But right in the center, there's stillness. Complete, quiet stillness. That's you. The calm eye of the storm. When you live from that center, no amount of chaos can move you. You don't get dragged into arguments. You don't react to fear. You don't rush to prove your worth. You move when it matters. You strike when it counts. And when you move, everything changes. Because calm is not passive. Calm is preparation. It's calculation. It's focus disguised as stillness. While panic burns energy, calm stores it. While panic screams, calm listens. While panic looks for a way out, calm creates one. That's why the calm ones always rise. Slowly, quietly, but always. They don't rise because they're lucky. They rise because they never let fear dictate their direction. When the world says, everything is falling apart, you say, no, everything is rearranging. When the world says, I can't handle this, you say, I was made for this. That's what separates you. You're not training to escape chaos. You're training to lead inside it. Because true calm doesn't mean you don't feel pressure. It means you don't become pressure. You still feel the heartbeat. You still hear the noise. You just don't let it own you. You breathe. You think. You move. One step, one decision, one victory at a time. The world doesn't need another person who panics. It needs people who stay centered when everything else falls apart. Because that's when greatness is visible. You can fake calm in easy times. But when everything goes wrong, that's when your training shows. That's when your breathing matters. That's when your self-control defines your destiny. Look at your own life. The moments you regret most came when you reacted too fast, said too much, moved without thinking. Now imagine what happens if you master the pause. If you train your emotions the same way an athlete trains their body. Discipline, control, awareness. That's how calm wins. Not by being soft, but by being strategic. Because calm people see the chessboard clearly. While others move impulsively, they plan 5 steps ahead. They see consequences. They understand cause and effect. They see the finish line before the race begins. And that's why the calm ones win big, not by chance, but by design. Every time life tests you with panic, you have two options: join the noise or rise above it. Most people will choose noise, but you've already chosen something else. You've chosen mastery, and mastery always looks quiet because it doesn't need to prove itself. It simply performs. So when the next wave of chaos hits, and it will, remember this: you don't have to move faster than the storm. You just have to be still enough to see where it's going. That's how you lead. That's how you grow. That's how you rise. When the world panics, you rise. There's one truth the world never teaches you. You can't control everything that happens, but you can always control how you react. That's where real strength lives. Not in power, not in speed, but in response. Because life will always test you. Someone will disrespect you. Plans will fail. People will disappoint you. The question is not if, it's when. And when it happens, your reaction will define you. Most people think strength is in fighting back, but true power is in not needing to. Pause. Breathe. Think before you speak. Feel before you act. That pause, that tiny space between stimulus and reaction, that's where growth happens. That's where your higher self lives. You've seen it before. The person who loses their temper and regrets it minutes later. The one who sends the angry text. The one who shouts louder just to feel in control. But you're learning to stay still. You're learning that silence can speak louder than rage. Because reactions are expensive. They cost your energy, your peace, your time. And the more you pay with reactions, the poorer you become inside. Emotional mastery is not about suppressing feelings. It's about understanding them, recognizing anger, fear, anxiety, and deciding what to do with them. You are not your emotions. You are the observer of them, the witness behind the storm. When you understand this, you stop being a prisoner of your moods and start becoming the architect of your peace. There's a reason the calm ones seem untouchable. It's not because nothing bothers them. It's because they've learned the art of delay, the sacred pause. They feel the emotion rise, but they don't ride it. They watch it, they wait, and then they choose. Imagine this. You're in an argument. Someone provokes you. Your heart races. You can feel the heat of emotion rising. That urge to prove, to defend, to react. But then you take a breath. You slow down. You remind yourself, I control me. And in that moment, you win. Because no one can control a person who controls themselves. Your reaction is your power. If you give it away easily, you give others permission to direct your life. But when you protect it, you protect your destiny. Think about the most successful people you know. They don't react to every rumor, every insult, every challenge. They move with intention. They speak with timing. They wait for the right moment. And when they act with precision. That's mastery. That's leadership. That's emotional intelligence. Because the world will always test your patience. With delays, disrespect, distractions. But calm people play a longer game. They don't need to win every small battle. They're focused on winning the war within. Sometimes, the best reaction is none. Not silence from weakness, but silence from awareness. When you stop reacting, you break the pattern. You take away the chaos's favorite weapon, your attention. Remember this. You can't stop waves from coming, but you can learn how to surf them. You can't stop people from testing you, but you can choose not to fail their tests. That's what mastering your reactions means. To stay grounded no matter what storm comes. When someone lies, you stay truthful. When someone's loud, you stay calm. When life throws you chaos, you throw it peace. And that's how you win. Not by fighting harder, but by reacting wiser. Because every time you react without control, you give away a piece of your mind. But every time you pause and choose peace, you build strength, quietly, invisibly, permanently. This isn't easy. It takes training. It takes awareness. But that's why you're here. You're not trying to be emotionless. You're trying to be emotionally powerful. So the next time something shakes you, don't rush to respond. Pause. Step back. Ask yourself, will this matter a week from now? Is this worth my peace? Am I reacting or responding? Every calm choice you make rewires your mind. Every time you stay silent when anger rises, you strengthen your control. And one day, without even realizing it. You'll notice that things that used to break you don't even move you anymore. That's when you'll smile quietly, not out of arrogance, but awareness, because you'll know you've mastered yourself. And once you master yourself, no one can master you again. This is emotional freedom. This is control. This is strength without noise. And that's how you rise, not above others, but above your own past self. Master your reactions, and you master your life. They told you that warriors are loud, that strength comes with noise, with force, with visible power. But the truth is different. The strongest warriors are the ones who move in silence, the ones who master stillness in the middle of the battlefield. Stillness is not weakness. It's awareness sharpened into a blade. Because anyone can shout, anyone can react, but only the trained mind can stay calm while the world burns. That's not ignorance, that's mastery. The calm person is not blind to chaos. They see it clearly, but they don't let own them. They watch everything, every move, every mistake, every weakness, while standing still. That's what real warriors do. They don't rush. They don't panic. They wait until it's time. The still mind can see what others miss. When everyone else reacts emotionally, the calm one reads the field, sees the opportunity, and strikes only once, with precision. You see, chaos feeds on reaction. It needs you to panic, to argue, to lose your center. But when you stay calm, chaos starves. It has nothing left to feed on. That's why the calm are feared, because they cannot be manipulated. They can't be provoked. They can't be predicted. They can't be controlled. They move slow but hit hard. They speak less, but their words echo longer. They choose silence, but in their silence, there is thunder. That's what you must become, a warrior of stillness. You don't fight every battle. You choose your wars carefully. You don't waste energy proving who you are. You let your results speak, because warriors of stillness understand this. Motion doesn't equal progress. The world is full of people running fast, but toward nothing. You're building direction first. You're training your mind to act only when it matters. Imagine standing in the middle of chaos. People arguing, things falling apart, voices rising. But your heart, it beats steady. Your breath, even. Your thoughts, clear. That's power. That's not luck, that's training. That's inner discipline. Stillness doesn't come naturally. It's built day by day. It's a choice you make when everything in you wants to react. You want to yell, but you breathe. You want to run, but you stand still. You want to give up, but you wait quietly. Because stillness is patience. And patience is strength wearing calm as armor. Every great fighter, every great thinker had stillness. Marcus Aurelius, Bruce Lee, Nelson Mandela. They didn't let chaos decide their mood. They stood firm when others broke. That's the energy you need to train. Not loud confidence, but quiet certainty. The kind of energy that walks into a room and changes the temperature. Not by words, but by presence. That's what calm does. It speaks for you. You don't need to prove anything when your energy already declares, I am unshakable. When you master stillness, you become unpredictable because people can read anger. They can sense fear. But they can't read calm. They can't decode silence. They don't know what's coming next. And that's what keeps you powerful. Stillness gives you the space to think. It turns reaction into calculation. It turns emotion into wisdom. You start seeing patterns others can't. You see how people reveal themselves through their reactions. You understand timing, when to move, when to wait, when to strike. That's why stillness is not just peace. It's strategy. The warrior of stillness doesn't fight the noise. He simply rises above it. He turns focus into a weapon. He turns patience into power. He doesn't chase victory. He attracts it. Because when you stay calm, you see what others are blind to. And when you can see clearly, you win silently. So train your stillness. Protect it. Don't let anyone pull you into emotional games. When they yell, you observe. When they mock, you smile. When they attack, you stay still. Because calm people don't lose. They either win or they learn, but they never break. And every time you stay still when chaos surrounds you, you're telling life, I'm ready for the next level. Because life doesn't reward those who panic. It rewards those who prepare, those who can hold their ground when everything shakes. Be that person, the one who doesn't just survive the storm, but becomes the storm. Quiet, powerful, controlled, a true warrior of stillness. There's a voice inside your head that never stops talking. You hear it when you wake up. You hear it before you sleep. Sometimes it motivates you. Sometimes it destroys you. It's the voice that says, "You can't. You're not enough. You've failed before. Why try again?" That voice has lived with you for years. It knows your fears. It knows your doubts. It knows how to sound like you. But it's not you. That's the first truth you must remember. You're not your thoughts. You are the one who listens to them. Your mind is a tool, powerful, sharp, limitless. But if left untrained, it becomes your cage. Every great warrior, every calm mind, learns to control the voice within. Because chaos doesn't start outside. It starts inside. When your inner voice is noisy, the world feels louder. When your thoughts are scattered, your life becomes scattered too. You can't build peace outside if your mind is at war within. So, you must learn to lead your thoughts, not follow them. Sit with this for a second. Your mind is like a room. You can fill it with light or fill it with noise. And every thought you repeat is like inviting that noise to stay longer. The more you argue with negative thoughts, the stronger they become. Because attention is energy. Whatever you feed grows. So instead of fighting your thoughts, watch them. Don't run. Don't argue. Just observe. Imagine your thoughts as clouds in the sky. Some dark, some bright, but none permanent. They come, they go. And you are the sky. Unchanged, unmoved, limitless. That's the power of awareness. The moment you stop identifying with every thought, you stop being its prisoner. You see, the mind's job is to think, just like the heart's job is to beat. But your job is to choose. Which thoughts deserve your attention? You don't have to believe everything you think. You don't have to follow every story your mind tells. Because not every thought is truth. Some are just echoes of fear. That's why calm people seem unbothered. It's not that they don't hear the voice. It's that they don't obey it anymore. They've trained it. They've rewritten its tone. They've transformed it from an enemy into an ally. How do you do that? By repetition, by awareness, by speaking back with power. When your mind says, "You can't," you say, "Watch me." When it says, "You'll fail," you say, "Then I'll learn." When it whispers, "It's over," you answer, "No, it's evolving." Because every thought is a suggestion, not an order. And the strongest minds don't listen to suggestions from fear. They listen only to truth, to logic, to faith. Think about how often your mind lies to you. It tells you people are judging you. They're not. It tells you you're behind in life. You're not. It tells you you'll never get better. You already are. Your thoughts are not reality. They are reflections of how you feel. So if you want to change your thoughts, change your emotional state. Move, breathe, meditate, walk, disconnect. When your body calms down, your thoughts start obeying again. Because the inner voice doesn't need to be silenced. It needs to be trained. Think of it like a wild horse. If you fight it, it kicks harder. If you guide it, it learns to serve you. That's your mind. Wild, restless, but trainable. Train it through awareness, through intentional silence, through gratitude. When a mind starts to spiral, shift your focus. What can I be thankful for right now? That single question breaks the cycle. Because gratitude and fear cannot exist together. And once you learn to guide your inner voice, you become unstoppable. Because nothing outside can break a mind that's united within. Every morning, speak to yourself, not with arrogance, but with certainty. Tell your mind who's in control. Feed it direction. Feed it truth. I am calm. I am capable. I am unshakable. I am becoming stronger every day. Repeat it until the voice inside starts sounding like that too. Because your inner world always builds your outer world. If you went inside, you went outside automatically. So protect that voice. Guide it. Train it. And when it starts whispering fear, remind it, we've been here before. We know how to rise. Because the truth is, you don't need a quieter mind. You just need a wiser one. Control the inner voice, and the outer chaos loses its power. That's not fantasy. That's discipline. That's the next level of calm. You'll still hear fear. You'll still hear doubt. But they'll sound distant now, like echoes in a hallway that no longer lead to you. Because now you know the difference between the noise and the narrator. You're not the voice. You're the one who decides what it says next. That's how peace begins, not in silence, but in selection. So choose your thoughts like you choose your words, with intention. And the day you do that, you'll realize something powerful. The loudest voice in the world is silence. When it's under your control, most people fear chaos. They run from it. They see it as destruction, as something to survive, not understand. But the truth is, chaos is a teacher, one of the most powerful ones you'll ever have. Every time life falls apart, it's not trying to break you. It's trying to rebuild you. You see, chaos doesn't come to punish. It comes to reveal. It shows you what's fragile, what's fake, what was never truly stable to begin with. When everything feels uncertain, chaos whispers the question, what inside you is real? Because peace can make you comfortable, but chaos makes you conscious. It wakes you up. It strips away illusions. It forces you to face yourself, without masks, without excuses. That's why the people who rise the highest are often those who've walked through the hardest storms. They've learned to stop asking, why me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? Every setback, every heartbreak, every dark night is a lesson written in pain. And those who listen grow. Think about it. You don't build patience in comfort. You build it when you're forced to wait. You don't build strength in calm. You build it when life tests every nerve you have. You don't build wisdom when things go right. You build it when everything goes wrong, and you learn to adapt. That's chaos. Your invisible mentor. It doesn't speak in words. It speaks in losses, delays, endings. And if you can listen without panic, you'll understand its language. Because chaos never shows up without purpose. Every storm has something to give, even if it takes something first. Sometimes it removes people who are blocking your growth. Sometimes it destroys comfort so you can move. Sometimes it simply tests your readiness to see if your calm is real or rehearsed. You say you want peace. You say you want strength. But how can you know if you truly have it? Until life shakes you? The calm you practice in peace means little if it disappears in pressure. So chaos comes, not to humiliate you, but to help you graduate. It's the final exam of inner strength. When everything breaks, you see what's unbreakable. When everything ends, you see what's eternal. And that's the secret most never learn. Chaos doesn't destroy your foundation. It reveals it. Every time your life shifts, you are being refined. The pain, the confusion, the loss, they're all sculpting something inside you. You can't see it yet, but one day you'll look back and say, I needed that. Because without that storm, you would have stayed small. You would have kept believing the lie. That peace is the absence of challenge. It's not. Peace is the presence of strength, even in challenge. That's what chaos teaches. When you face it with fear, it crushes you. When you face it with curiosity, it teaches you. So when the world feels heavy, don't just ask, how do I escape? Ask, what is this shaping in me? Maybe chaos is building your patience. Maybe it's teaching you humility. Maybe it's simply reminding you that control is an illusion, but calm is always a choice. And that's why calm people seem wise beyond years. They've been through enough chaos to recognize its patterns. They no longer panic when life shifts. They adjust. They adapt. They flow. They've learned that chaos is not permanent. It's a visitor, and every visitor leaves once the lesson is learned. So when you find yourself in the middle of it, breathe. Don't curse the storm. Study it. What is it removing? What is it teaching? What strength is it asking you to activate? Because once you shift from fear to learning, chaos loses its power over you. It becomes your classroom, and your mind, your greatest student. You'll realize that nothing truly breaks you. It only breaks what wasn't meant to last. People will wonder how you stay calm when things fall apart. But you'll know. It's because you understand the pattern now. You've seen chaos before. You've survived it. And now you're trained by it. You're not scared of the storm anymore because you've learned to move with it. the more life shakes you, the more balanced you become, the more it tests you, the more aware you get. And one day, you'll look back at the moments you once called disasters and realize they were directions. They weren't pushing you down. They were pushing you forward. Chaos has always been your silent ally. It just wore the mask of pain to make sure you paid attention. So, the next time it returns, don't run. Don't resist. Stand tall, breathe deep, and whisper back, "Teach me," because those who learn from chaos never fear it again. The world used to believe that power meant dominance, that the loudest person was the leader, the fastest was the winner, and the most aggressive was the strongest. But that era is over. In this world of noise, calm is the new power, because anyone can raise their voice. Anyone can demand attention, but only a few can command it. Through presence, through peace, through control. Calm people move differently. They don't chase validation. They don't explain their worth. They don't rush their timing. They let silence do the talking. In a society addicted to reaction, calm is rebellion. It's power without chaos. It's control without fear. Think about it. In any crisis, who do people turn to? Not the loud ones, not the panicked ones. They look for the calm one, the one whose eyes say, "I've got this." Because calm is confidence, without arrogance. When you stay calm under pressure, you create gravity. People start orbiting around you, drawn not by noise, but by stability. That's the secret. The calm mind leads because it sees clearly. It reacts slower, but decides better. And in a world moving too fast, clarity is the rarest currency. Calm doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care wisely. You pick your battles. You conserve your energy. You move with intention. You know when to walk away and when to walk in, when to speak and when to stay silent. Because the calm knows something the chaotic never learn. You can't lead what you can't control. And if you can't control yourself, you can't control outcomes. So the truly powerful are the ones who master emotions, not the ones who master others. Watch the great leaders. They rarely panic. They listen more than they talk. They understand that control isn't about domination. It's about direction. And that direction starts inside. The more still you are, the more you see, the more patient you become, the more patterns you recognize. And when everyone else is distracted by the noise, you're already 3 moves ahead. Calmly, quietly, strategically. That's why calm isn't weakness. It's the highest form of strength. You don't need to prove your power. When your peace already announces it. When people can't shake you, they start respecting you. When they can't make you react, they start following you. Because calmness in chaos is rare. And whatever is rare becomes valuable. The calm don't beg for attention. They attract it. They don't demand trust. They earn it silently. Their presence says, "I'm not here to compete with you. I'm here to lead myself." And that's why calm people win. They're not distracted by small arguments. They're not controlled by ego. They understand that peace is power, and not everyone can afford it. Calm gives you precision. When your emotions settle, your mind sharpens. You start noticing what others miss. You make moves that feel effortless because they come from clarity, not chaos. This is why your calmness threatens some people. Because when you don't react, they lose control. They can't manipulate your emotions. They can't predict your moves. They can't weaken your focus. You become a mystery, and mystery is magnetic. So guard your peace. Don't trade it for temporary reactions. Don't lose it trying to prove a point. Every time you stay calm, you gain control. And control is the foundation of every form of power. The calm mind doesn't rush, because it knows timing is everything. The calm heart doesn't beg, because it knows what it deserves. The calm soul doesn't fear, because it's already seen storms and survived them. That's real power. Not what you show, but what you withhold. In a world addicted to display, self-control is dominance. You don't need to raise your tone when your energy already speaks volumes. You don't need to chase outcomes when your consistency creates them. This is the new era, where calm outperforms chaos, where patience beats panic, where silence is louder than noise. And those who understand this will rise above the rest, because calm is not passive. It's active awareness. It's measured strength. It's energy that refuses to waste itself. So train your calm like a weapon. Polish it. Protect it. Use it only when necessary. Because the calm mind doesn't fight every battle. It chooses the ones that matter. And when it fights, it wins. With precision, not pressure. You are becoming that kind of person. Unshakable, composed, quietly powerful. And when the world tests you, as it always will, don't prove your strength through noise. Prove it through stillness. Because the world doesn't need more loud leaders. It needs more calm ones. Calm is the new power. And once you master it, you don't chase the storm. You become the sky above it. You've made it this far, and that already says something powerful about you. Most people stop halfway. They get inspired, then disappear. They start strong, then collapse under life's noise. But you stayed. You kept listening. You kept learning. You kept building something invisible but unstoppable inside you. And that is how transformation begins. This isn't just about staying calm. This is about becoming unshakable. Unshakable people walk through chaos like it's weather. Temporary, passing, unworthy of panic. They've seen storms before, and now they know. Storms don't break them. They reveal them. Because when your inner world is built on peace, no outside world can tear it down. You stop reacting. You start responding. You stop chasing control. You become control. That's what it means to be unshakable. Unshakable doesn't mean you don't feel pain. It means pain can't dictate your path. You still bleed, but you bleed forward. You still fall, but you rise wiser. You still lose, but you never lose yourself. Because you've learned that emotions are not your master. They're your signal. Fear means you're about to grow. Doubt means you're stepping out of comfort. Chaos means transformation is near. And through it all, you remain calm. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. That's the ultimate shift. You stop trying to control life and start controlling the only thing that ever mattered, your state. You realize your emotions are tools, not traps. Your thoughts are choices, not chains. And your focus is the steering wheel that decides where you end up. When people throw shade, you no longer react. You study. When life delays you, you no longer complain. You prepare. When failure visits, you no longer panic. You listen to the lesson. Because unshakable people don't just survive the storm. They use it to upgrade their wings. And here's the truth no one tells you. When you reach this level of inner strength, life stops being a battlefield and becomes a chessboard. You see patterns others miss. You understand timing. You know that every delay has direction, and that every test is training in disguise. People may still try to provoke you. They may call your calm arrogance, your patience weakness, your peace distance. Let them, because you're no longer living for approval. You're living for alignment. You've stopped seeking validation. You've started seeking vibration. And now you move like water. Nothing blocks you. It only redirects you. You flow around obstacles. You shape your own path. You adapt. You adjust. You evolve. That's the true definition of power. Power isn't how loud you roar. It's how steady you remain when the earth shakes beneath you. It's how centered you stay when others lose their balance. It's how focused you remain when the noise tries to distract you. You become that, and you'll keep becoming more. Because being unshakable isn't a destination. It's a daily decision. Every morning you wake up, you'll be tested again. By people, by fear, by doubt, by delays. And each time, you'll have two choices. React like the old you, or respond like the new you. Choose calm. Choose focus. Choose peace. Because every time you do, you strengthen the foundation beneath you. One day you'll look back and realize you didn't just survive chaos. You learned how to use it. You turned every storm into discipline, every setback into strategy, every scar into strength. That's why unshakable people don't chase miracles. They create them quietly, consistently, patiently. And when life tries to pull them apart, they smile because they know something simple and sacred. Nothing can break what's already whole inside. You become that kind of person. Not perfect, not untouchable, but deeply, powerfully centered. You've learned to breathe through pressure, to think under fire, to act with grace when chaos calls, to trust your timing when everyone else is rushing. And that's when life starts bending in your favor. Not because it got easier, but because you finally master the rhythm. You no longer wait for calm. You bring it. You no longer hope for peace. You radiate it. You no longer chase focus. You embody it. That's what unshakable means. It's not about escaping chaos. It's about outgrowing it. Because calm isn't the end of the storm. It's the eye of it, the quiet center that keeps spinning, while the world loses its balance around you. That's you now. The quiet in the noise. The stillness in the storm. The power that doesn't need to prove itself anymore. So, the next time life gets loud, remember who you are. You're not here to compete with chaos. You're here to conquer it, silently. Because calm isn't weakness. It's your crown, and you've earned it. Through every test, every fall, every rise. You're no longer reacting to life. You're directing it. Unshakable, unstoppable, unbreakable. And when the world finally wonders how you kept winning through the storms, just smile, because they'll never understand. You didn't fight the chaos. You became the calm within it that you've seen. Now the road to calm in chaos. The pause, the control, the deeper awareness. When the world screams, your silence becomes your message. When others lose balance, your strength shows. If this video resonated, do share it with someone fighting storms in their life. Subscribe to Inspirova so you don't miss part 2, where we dive deeper into turning fear into your teacher. Remember, chaos doesn't break you. It reveals which parts of you were unshakable all along. Stay calm, stay strong, and see the power in the storm fade away.